Okay.
Yeah, no. So originally, I sent Shark like a Mr. Fruit video. And I was like, edit like this, and he was like, got it.
Yeah.
And then now, I'll send you some of the videos that I've been watching recently because it's just a completely different style of Among Us. But I think that you'll love it, Tim, because it's the guys who found Among Us and actually brought it to Twitch. And so they'd been playing for over a year at this point.
So they're cracked.
By the time that everybody else is like playing, so there's not a whole lot of videos on his channel because he only uploads once a week and he's variety. But his Among Us videos and his Among Us VODs are hilarious.
Hit us with the direct link, Tim.
I don't know. Maybe you just log into Patreon. I'm kidding.
I mean, I could, but
why don't we log into Patreon?
I'm scrolling.
Oh, you know what the best part about this is because the two of you are now together. They're like you can just direct file transfer.
Yes.
And I never need to touch anything again for editing until I move down there because for fuck's sake, it's way more efficient to just give it to you.
Oh,
right?
Dude,
like
I don't even have to upload files anymore. I can put it on a flash drive.
That's what I'm saying.
Question.
Answer.
So first of all, I need the new link. Second of all,
I just
been posted.
Second of all,
yeah,
I just saw it in the admin. I'm sorry. Hold on. Anyway.
No, it was funny because I got the ding. I need the new link.
I think, and for Patreon people here, I'll ask the question. After 2 weeks, I think we let it go live on our YouTube.
I was gonna say that's something that was one of the things that with season 2 I wanted to talk about, and we just kind of didn't talk about it.
There we go. Done. 1 week or 2 weeks?
Already done. So we'll
1 week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Cool. Done.
Actually, 1 week. 1 week.
Cool.
Because then people who want to watch the VODs get a relatively relevant interest.
Yeah.
And that way it's also perfect. It's VODs for people who are 1 week behind. So it'll line up with the people who aren't paying for Crunchy Premium, etc.
Yeah, it's actually very convenient.
So the line that's not paying for premium is the same as the line that's paying for premium.
Bees, Cherry, welcome.
And if they're paying for premium on Crunchy, then they can get the non-premium audio week to week.
Okay, so what you're telling me is all you want me to do is publish old ones.
Yes.
We just go through, publish everything up to this week's.
That's I
no,
joke's on you. I was already doing it.
not last week's, because last week goes live Wednesday.
Yeah,
it was an off day. Yeah.
Yes. So.
Yeah, Bees has no issue with that, and Cherry says, "Hey, it works." So.
I'm already here watching this. Okay, guys,
16,
we're gonna start here in a minute.
16.5 and 17 will go up the same week.
Yeah.
Yeah. This setup is so nice too because I have the YouTube, I have the Audacity, and I have you guys. So
yeah. So I end up Audacity's over here, YouTube's here, you guys are here.
Bees, I love you, dude. By the way, you need to pick another anime for us to watch. We got 24 episodes for you, and you got to pick.
Yeah, I was gonna say pick anything for October, and then pick your November show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd say, in all honesty, we're going to be busy enough for this next month, like with everything that's going on. I don't want to try and do two. No,
because what we can do is Paul, what I'm saying is do the October one.
Yes.
Because we missed that one. And then we'll have the November one. And then like the first week of December, we can put that one out.
Yeah, Paul, we make it work. That's the thing.
True. It'll be fine.
I'm not worried about it.
We've got it.
Cool. Absolutely not. No, yeah, Bees, like you, because the thing is, like, you got that, and I'm not going to say executive order, but you guys are okay with it stacking unused, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have 48 episodes, or 52, relatively.
Yeah, like I really don't mind. Like if you're like, I want you to watch this entire one show, and it's like 4 seasons.
Yeah, well, at this point we'll do it because it adds on. So
we just want to make sure we have your stuff figured out. I know we did that one guest episode with Ben that covered Baki and everything, so that was like an extra little treat.
I thought that the Baki episode with Ben
he loved
was
it, by the
great
way. I did ask him. He loved it. So
okay, that's good. That's good. No, it's like that. I thought like Bees was like, I want you to talk about Baki. Have you been watching Baki? And I'm like, we're working on it. We're working on it. And then we finally got the episode. I was like, okay, if he doesn't like this, then like, I don't know. Cause we pulled out all of these stops. So
the bit was
I hope it was
not gonna
enjoyable.
lie.
Yep.
It was a pretty good episode. It was a fun time.
So, okay. Let's
I love my name is still Cass Incarnate.
we just started
Casting
Haikyuu.
Credit.
Oh.
I'm casting Cranit. That's what it is.
Oh, he just started
Casting
Haikyuu.
Credit.
Oh, Bees, you're in for a
Paul-
treat.
Paul loves Haikyuu.
So I'm the only guy on this podcast who really enjoys my sports anime.
No, I like sports anime.
I don't. There's nothing wrong with sports anime.
No, when I say that, I mean like I obsess over sports anime.
That's
Fair.
different.
Yeah.
The only
Like,
one I haven't
I
started
like
obsessing
sports
about
anime.
is Climbing
I don't-
Girls yet because I haven't had time.
I don't love sports anime.
I love.
I haven't
sports
caught up on Climbing Girls. I need to though because I watched the
Yes.
first episode.
We'll do
and it
that
was
this
so-
week. Our weekend,
Okay.
we'll spend Saturday, you and I, and we'll just
Yes,
sit over here.
the
and
two
watch.
of you need to watch Cute Girls Do Rock Climbing so that I can talk about Cute Girls Do Rock Climbing more.
Yes.
Also,
Because-
honestly, I'm so behind on anime because all of the week leading up to the 0.5 episode, I was figuring out like logistics and packing and all of that stuff. And then the week of the 0.5 episode, I was driving and now I'm here.
Yeah.
And I did a little bit of catch up. So we're caught up with Jujutsu Kaisen and we watched a couple episodes of Tonikawa. So but
tonight's
that's all
gonna
I
be
would-
talk
tonight's gonna be
about how
pacing,
good-
Tonikawa, and Jujutsu Kaisen.
I cannot
can
wait to
talk
talk
about
about JJK.
It's very good.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah. No,
It's a solid-
it's a
manga-
good thing.
It's a solid 10 out of 10. I read forward and I caught to so he
Okay, so how far? Just give me give me an idea of like the most vague way that you can put it, but also make it clear so that I know what the fuck is going on.
I'm
'Cause
just
I
gonna
can tell
pull it open real quick. Long story short, I've gotten past what Gojo's sensei's imminent domain is and all of that.
Oh, okay, so you've experienced
Chapter
his
24.
imminent domain.
Yes. Chapter 24 is when the girl finds the finger at the store.
Okay, that's where you are.
Yeah. I haven't gone super crazy far.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on chapter 127. I read this
Yeah.
week's chapter already.
It's after we find out about the office worker Bud fights
Nanami?
cursed Bud.
Nanami?
Yes. He's dope.
I fucking love Nanami.
He's dope.
He's so
like,
good.
I'm on overtime. Fuck you.
Dude. I
No,
love
but
him.
no. I experiencing Gojo's domain was literally like. Well, like that's when I told Tim. That's when I told Nate. I was like, "Welcome to Superman."
Okay, here's the thing: is like,
Question: Can I have you guys read a webtoon?
I mean, I'm down to read like 150 chapters of a webtoon. I feel like that's relatively
That's equivalent. Weak Hero.
Weak Hero. Oh, cool. So I'm already reading Weak Heroes. That's fine with me.
I'll catch up.
Weak Hero's really good.
So
I've
like
heard
it.
good things. It's on my list.
So I've caught up with Hardcore Leveling Warrior, God of High School,
I'm halfway done with that.
Tower, and
yes, Bees. we will
Unordinary, and then
read-
there's one more that I was reading.
what's
I'm
what's
current
the
with.
question? What's the transition of anime episodes to webtoon chapters? 1 to 2?
It depends on the.
It depends on the webtoon.
I think that
yeah.
it depends on the webtoon is very fair, but I think we need to have a standard going forward just in case.
I would say probably 8 to 10 per
Well,
chapters per
so-
episode.
I do 1 to
depending.
6.
The-
So like 24 times 6.
Tim, the thing is we don't want to focus how much content per episode. We want to focus length of reading per
Yes.
episode.
Yeah, I'm
more
like
content per episode, I say absolutely it would be 8 to 10 to 1. While length of reading, I think we need to go way lower of like less than 4.
no.
at
So
the
I was
most.
thinking 8 to 10 as that's how much content should be in there. So you probably could go 4 to 5 tops.
I think that a 3 to 1 would be very balanced just because considering we can throw, say it's 50, we can do 150 chapters.
Yes,
Yes.
that's
Yeah,
why
I
I
agree.
was like,
I agree.
I'm down
3
to
to
read
1.
150 chapters of whatever webtoon.
Yep.
Cool. So
Cool. There we
that
go.
being said, will
150 chapters of Week Hero. Good to go.
How many chapters are in Week Hero right now though? That's the
I
question.
want to say somewhere around 200.
Because if it's somewhere around 200, then I say we just catch up. Like if it's that close comparatively, then we catch up. But that's the thing is, it's got to be.
It's literally on like the first page of my webtoon stuff. So let me just.
There's only 116.
116. Then we just catch up. Perfect. Done.
Yeah, I was like, Week Hero's not super long, but.
Yeah, and I want to do that. The number would be higher, but I want to set a standard.
I do want to say that Tower does resume.
Tower resumes.
November. We talked about that last week.
We talked about this last week.
Yeah,
yes, I know, but Nate can be excited about it now.
And I didn't listen to the episode, but I heard that Tim, you said Jin Sung Ha needs to be Matt Mercer.
Yeah.
You saw my tweet on top of it.
Yes, I'm sorry. That is the only dub voice actor I will accept for Dad.
Nate agreed with me to have Archer be the voice of Caliban, though.
Archer from
Shiro Amiga, Fate, Unlimited Blade Works.
The dub?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't watch the dub. I only watched the sub.
Oh,
which like
the dub's voice is so hot.
Actually, Fate Stay Night is one of the shows I'll say that the dub is okay for. The only character being iffy is Shiro because he's Bryce Papenbrook and Bryce has one voice. Granted, it is the protagonist voice, but it's one voice.
Yes.
No.
So,
Archer's voice is perfect, I think, and then
Archer's voice in the sub, I would also accept for Caliban.
You're not wrong. Both of them are pretty.
It's the idea of the character. He's very strong. He's very quiet. And while he has an alignment that's his own morals, he's still fitting to whatever's in the area.
Yep.
Exactly.
Bees, we're talking about. So, Bees, hold on. Let me update Bees before we do this. And then we're going to jump into the episode after this because I want to make sure we keep everybody on time because I know we all have a lot to do. We're talking about Caliban from Tower of God Season 3 being voiced by Archer / Shiro from Fate Unlimited Blade Works.
Yes. And Caliban's like late game character because you need to remember that Season 2 of Tower of God
is like 300 chapters.
Times as long as Season 1.
Yeah.
It's 5 times long, Nate.
It is.
Is it 5?
75 times.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like it's between 4 and 5 times as long because chapter 1 is about 80 chapters.
Nope, 74.
Season 1 is 70. No, 79.
74 to 75. 75 is an epilogue.
Okay, so 75, and then times 4 is 100, 150. So yeah, no, it's about 5. It's 5 times as long.
It's 5 times.
Right. Yeah. No.
My math was at 80.
Yeah,
80.
if your math was at 80, you were right. But if you're not even there in Tower, do it. It resumes this November.
Right, my numbers are the first word. So like, yeah.
It's like.
Bees, we're at chapter 490. I think we're 493.
He's introduced in like 460.
Yeah, he's not.
Okay, we're at 485.
It's earlier than that. It's towards the start of season 3.
2.
Yeah, it's towards the start of season 3.
Caliban's introduced because he kills Jin Sung Ha.
He doesn't kill him.
That's why, Paul, you weren't looking up. There were air quotes.
Wow. You don't. No, you meet him in season 2.
That's what I said.
End of season 2. Yeah.
And that's when
why I said
happened. That's when
around the start of season 3
happened. And that's such a good interaction.
327 episode 327. So 407 total.
Yeah, that's
out of 500.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for
Sips Margarita.
Everything to come back.
Sponsored, not sponsored, please.
And like Tim, I'm sure you saw Unordinary is
3-week hiatus.
On hiatus for a couple weeks, yeah.
3 weeks. 3-week hiatus.
And then
I tweeted at Uru-chan. I was like
I was like, you know what? I'm okay with this. And I love the thing too where she was like, we're going to be smart about this. I planned out the hiatus for 3 weeks. I gave all of the OG people a very long chapter, and then I gave all the fast pass people a very long chapter. I'll see you in 3 weeks.
Yep.
Like, that was such a smart move. I was like, yes. But that means that but it's weird because now I'm going to have only one webtoon to read weekly until Tower of God comes back.
You know what? You know what the best part is just do what I do. So I've got
Nobody updated the brief.
I'll be right back. I wrote in it a little bit.
That's not my job. That's not my job.
There he is.
It's not my job.
Just do it. Just do it.
I was gonna continue to talk to our chat and our and the rest of our Patreon.
Oh, I'm about to get an iPhone 12, so that's gonna be dope.
I thought about buying an iPhone 12 just to use with Epic Cam.
I have it. It's real nice.
I was like, I mean, if I'm
also in the iPhone upgrade program, so like I just get it for literally the same price.
Yeah, so you just have God of High School, Unordinary, Stalker X Stalker, which is a really funny
Yep.
like yandere rom-com. Definitely if you're looking for a good joke and like really short ones, it's really funny. Your Throne, top fucking tier. How to Become a Dragon is fucking adorable. The Genshin Impact one is just fun. It's just interesting backstory that you don't get in the game. It's like the Grimoire in Destiny. It's not in the game. We've got Tog that I'm waiting to come back.
Yeah,
I'm Weak Hero.
I literally don't care about like I care about other things, but I really don't care about anything but Tog right now. Like everything else, I'm kind of like just reading at this point. I'm sitting here like salivating over Tog coming back, being like, "You left us on the fucking cliffhanger of absurdity. Fuck you.
Okay,
but please
really
stay
quick.
healthy."
Okay, so Tim, are you caught up on solo leveling right now?
Yes.
If they put a hiatus on solo leveling 2 weeks ago, it would have been equivalent to Tower of God's hiatus.
Yep.
Like that's where we're at in solo leveling. So
bees.
I would have had
catch up on Tower.
Throw myself off a building.
Dude,
catch
like,
up
if they put a
on
hiatus
Tower.
right there at the like it's like meanwhile over Japan, and if they put a hiatus on that, I would have lost my mind. Like
Absolutely.
Okay,
such
here
a
we
good
go.
touch.
We've been talking for 17 minutes. We need to get rolling.
I just want to make the point of
yes.
I love these vibe sessions where like it's pre-podcast and we can talk about stuff that's not going to make it to the podcast.
Yep.
But we can nerd out about Tower and Webtoon and Genshin and
100%.
all of that stuff. It's a good time.
Okay,
So,
where are we doing
thank you,
news?
Missouri, for
Where are we
showing.
looking at news? Are we looking at
I've
news
got
in the
news.
news channel?
I'll just
You got news?
Oh, you're gonna roll it and we'll talk? Cool, sounds good. Yes.
Yeah.
No, focus Tower over God of High School. God of High School's nearing its end, so like you'll be able to coast. But like Tower's coming back, and I don't like
when Tog comes back, it's coming back full force.
Tower of God is a mountain.
I'll put it this way. Tog is coming
Keeps getting
back
better.
where in God of High School, granted, God of High School is kind of coasting where like they're having these like little epicer moments and they're like hyping it up to the very end. Like Tog is coming back like when Mori originally got Yui the Dragon Cloak and all of his powers back all at once. And I want you to imagine if they did that and then we're like, bye, we're on a 6-month hiatus. That's what happened with Tower.
That's
literally what happened.
For Tower of God, I'm going to give the context, but not the specifics.
Yes, go ahead.
Basically, Tower of God, every single arc, you see new peaks, and then you see, so that's the power cap of this section, and then you build up to that, and then by the time you get there, there's a new power cap.
Yes.
Tower of God has started reaching you hit the ranker power cap a while ago. You're hitting high rankers at this point, which is like the top 500 of everybody. And you're hitting their power caps. And one of those characters...
You've only seen what you've seen in the anime for both.
Yeah, so...
Oh.
Like...
Okay,
I'm giving
Yeah.
context, but not specifics.
Yeah.
So we just got into massive scale battle with the high tiers, the high rankers, the top 500 in the entire universe. And one of those characters walks out, like leading the charge to the good guys and says, "Let's play a game." And then it cuts.
Yeah.
Like the main antagonist just presented himself and said, "Let's play a game."
It's like so Bees, if you ever watch Naruto, it's like if Madara stepped out right after he got reincarnated and was like, "Let's play a game. We're gonna play."
And then there was no Naruto.
And then there was no Naruto, and then like it just blank, and it just
started-
stopped.
They've started doing their matchups of like, I will fight this guy, I will fight this guy, I will fight this guy, and then my daddy comes out and he's just like, "Let's play a game." And Tim, I'm so excited to change my name back to Yasracha's Scratch Post.
Okay, here we go. We got to do this.
Yeah, just set it.
Okay. First of all, Yasuracha Scratch Post is literally the best name in the entire world of Steam at this point. Anyway,
so
welcome to
good.
Studio Blank, the anime and manga podcast where you can I'm gonna have to restart that.
What can we find?
Where you can find all your news, reviews, and views on all things weave every single week. I apologize for that cough. I got really excited.
That order was wrong, and do it again.
It's not. I just read it. It's where you find all your news, reviews, and views.
It's actually news, views, and reviews.
I'm reading the document right now, Tim.
Is the
Then
document
it's wrong in the document too.
Yeah, it's wrong in the document then. So
What do you want it to be?
It was Paul. I want you to know that for like the first 10 episodes, when you didn't read it directly off the sheet,
I know.
News,
it was
views, and reviews.
News, views, and
reviews.
No, I know.
Of on all things weeb every single week.
Update
So
it
when you
for me
said
real
it
quick,
wrong,
so I'll just
I
restart.
noticed.
It's fine. Just reset it. I'll do it again. It's fine.
Okay.
Guys.
Studio Blank Podcast, episode 17, take 2.
Guys, welcome to Studio Blank, the anime and manga podcast where you can find all your news, views, and reviews on all things weeb every single week. I'm your host, Paul, with my two co-hosts, Nate and Tim, and we've just had a really good week.
Yep, and we definitely didn't screw up the opening. That'd be
No,
wild.
not at all. I didn't have to redo it just...
Never.
I didn't have to redo it just for Tim.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Anyway,
Didn't happen.
we're going to hop right into this because we know we gave you guys a 0.5 episode last time where we literally just talked nothing but Tower of God because like Tim and I decided that we were going to have a 0.5 while Nate was
Tower's
moving
coming back.
because Tower is coming back. So that's some
That's
news for
very
you guys if you guys wanted to know and you didn't listen to last week's episode. But now I'm going to hand it right over to Tim because he's got all of the spicy news from the last 2 weeks for you guys. Tim, hit me with it.
All right, so we're gonna start with obviously one of my favorite series because this thing has been shattering records for 2 fucking weeks now.
Wow, are you saying
Absolutely.
that these records, these demonic records are getting slain?
Yeah, in fact, they are. Tanjiro has walked up on all of these records and just
Down smashed.
hit them with the water breathing, bro. Just sent them to their resting place. All right.
It's ridiculous, guys. If you haven't been paying attention to anything from the Japanese theater, if you haven't been paying attention to Mugen Train, you're about to lose your mind because it is a top 10 total grossing movie in Japan, period, ever, of all time. 10 million copies, 10 million views. What is it, over 1 billion yen?
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, I'm reading.
I'm
reading
sorry,
the
I was
live chat,
excited!
and the
Go.
entire live chat is like, comfy. The fuck. So
So the bit was, we were going to hand it over to me, and then I still wasn't going to speak, and so I just wasn't prepared that we were just pushing into the bit like that.
So Demon Slayer movie.
Demon Slayer
Mugen
movie, go,
Train.
hit it. I
Slayer
listed a bunch
movie.
of it, but go.
All right, top 10 all-time highest grossing in Japan. It's number 10 right now, and it's only been out for 10 days. It will probably hit top 5, based on the pacing it's already done. It's been seen 7.9 million times and sold 10 billion yen worth of tickets. That's not even like, oh wow, like we've had, everyone that sat down and to see it. There are people that are still buying advance tickets because they can only get into a screening in like a week.
I mean, I wish that were me.
I wish we were.
Yeah,
Do we need to send our penguin?
I wish I was in
Sending
Japan
our
to
secret penguin!
to see it right now.
Calling the penguin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Newt. Shout out to our friend Pingu from the lovely Australia.
Also,
yeah,
congratulations to Koyoharu Gotoge for winning the Noma Publishing Culture Award because of Demon Slayer. I mean, actually, it's won it again. This is the second time he's won it for Demon Slayer.
Good to know. Good job. Yep. Nope. Applause.
So he's that good. I'll do it again.
I mean,
the whole show is so good. I don't know what and if you've read the manga, you know.
So
that's all I
want
to say.
you to know that there are 90.518 million print copies of the first 22 Demon Slayer volumes of the manga. That's not all of them. There are 2 more volumes to come out. They will break 100 million copies in print by the end of it.
Hey, Tim.
It is the second highest selling manga in print ever.
Behind what?
Behind One Piece.
Yeah. Yep. That one's obvious. But so, Tim, speaking of high numbers of manga circulation, did you see what just hit 10 million copies in circulation?
Yes. See? Thank you for letting me go with the rest of my bit. Another anime that has been absolutely blowing up this year, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to read this number to you. Ready?
Yep, go ahead, hit me.
November 9th, 2019, 2.5 million copies in print. By May of 2020, 4.5. This week, they broke 10 million in print.
That's insane.
400% in a calendar year and 230% growth in less than 6 months.
Yep.
During a global pandemic.
I want to point out, well, that's probably because the anime actually came out. Which, to be fair, the main point of most anime, not all, but most, is to sell the manga or light novel.
Yep.
Correct. And
I just want to point out, we're going to talk about it later. First of all, we're going to talk about it later. So y'all can hold your horses. But holy shit. It's good.
Oh,
it's
no, it's
real
amazing.
good. It's real good. And to put this in perspective, right? So for example, right? Tim, how many chapters would you say are to a volume? Because Demon Slayer has 24, right?
For Jujutsu or just in general?
Just in general, about how many would you say?
Somewhere between 8 and 12.
Okay, so
depends on the manga.
One Piece
it's usually
is
9
over
or 10.
the 10 is number 1. Demon Slayer has officially hit number 2, right? We're hitting that over 10 million copies with sub 24 volume manga. It's insane.
Paul, it's literally only 15 volumes.
That's what I'm saying.
Demon Slayer's only got 24.
Yeah, my point is we're breaking this really early stupid excess number, and we're climbing the ranks on stuff that hasn't even broken what you would normally consider full volume manga.
I would consider the fact that they had a 400% sale increase in a year by itself the only thing that they should be excited about. Because 10 million is awesome. That doesn't account for... So Oricon doesn't count digital prints.
Oh, so it doesn't count Viz? Doesn't count... Okay.
No. So that's only
I would say
copies.
Probably a good chunk of Western media.
Yes.
Yeah. So...
If not a majority.
That's why I'm saying, the 400% growth in a year, considering the fact that it's only print copies, is impressive. Yeah. That's the thing that they should be proud of. Not, oh, wow, we broke 10 million copies. No. You broke 10 million paper copies.
Yep.
Yeah.
You sold 10 million copies of this manga. You did your job.
Yep. And the anime's stellar too.
Oh, it's
I
great
mean,
so far.
okay.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about it later. Continue with news.
Yeah. Speaking of shows that we watch and have absolutely bomb tier manga, that are incredibly well selling. This one's from Iraqi. I wonder what it could be.
Hit me with it.
It's about the Rohan spinoff for JoJo's. It will be streaming globally on Netflix
I did see that.
in 2021.
Really? Netflix. Yeah, no, that sounds about right. Honestly, I'm still excited for it.
But
I
you know what
really-
the best part is David Production is doing it again. So
Wait,
it
are
won't suck.
they?
Yep.
Good. All of the other Rohan OVAs have been not David Production.
Yep.
And you can tell, like, they have interesting stories, but they're not like, the animation is just off. Because they try for the same style as Part 4 JoJo's, but it's just slightly wrong. Like the coloring, the drawings, it's not the same studio, so it looks different.
Yeah, no, this one's being done by David, so it will automatically suck less than the other ones.
That makes me immediately happy. Rohan is one of my favorite characters from JoJo's, simply because he's weird as hell and ridiculous. So, and he's the manga artist, so
That's very true. He is.
maybe he's Iraqi's self-insert.
He literally is. Rohan is meant to be.
Is he really?
Rohan's entire character is the fact that he is Iraqi's Iraqi's alter ego, and his way of being part of the story.
I 100% believe that.
I mean, that's
In fact, he
canon.
took until Part 4 to self-insert himself, but
Yeah.
I mean, it could be worse.
oh, he could have made himself the main character, and that's never good.
Yeah, he put himself in as a character that like is kind of well loved.
I like Rohan a lot, personally. Like
I really love Rohan. I just was like, I have also seen that people are like not very fond of Rohan all the time.
I mean, the very first episode that you meet him, he is creepy as hell. Like, he is weird, and then just as it progresses, it gets so much
I wish
better.
I cared more about JoJo's.
I was gonna make a TikTok joke and be like, he's pretty hit or miss, huh?
I hate you. But
That's
Tim,
how I wanted to
literally
end that bit. So we
the,
can go back
the
to
episode with
news.
the alien made me like Rohan. That was it. It was the episode with the alien, and then I was like, okay, I like Rohan now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, last bit of news. Hit me with it.
There's like 4 other things to talk about still.
No, he's gone.
More manga news. Shaman King gets a shoujo spin-off about Kana, Matilda, and Marion.
Yes.
Which, if you still haven't read Shaman King after I bitched and moaned and got very excited about its return like 7 weeks ago or something,
A long while ago.
it's been a long time. Do your fucking job. It's the end of that
Do
discussion.
your job.
Do your goddamn job. It launches on December 1st, so it'll be available. And also, Shaman King still slaps. Still one of the best shonen shows in my entire goddamn opinion.
You love it so much, don't you?
I stan Shaman King the way Paul stands Haikyuu and
Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Legend of the Galactic
Heroes.
See,
It took
I know
you
where
that
you're
long.
going.
It took you that long. Side note: I found a Legend of the Galactic Heroes like figure pop. at
Motherfucker, we're
Tate's.
still in the news. Stop. Okay, so there's no more manga news. Cool. So we're on to anime and movies.
Oh my
god. We're back.
This is taking so long. Speed run it.
Okay, so Kaguya-sama season 3 announced. We're getting an OVA. I'm excited. Honestly, that whole show is all of the serotonin I've ever needed. I have turned
Tony
all of
Kawa's
my
better.
housemates. Shut the fuck up, you're wrong. That's just objectively incorrect.
Continue.
It's just really good. It's so fucking good.
Yes.
It's fun. It's cute. The characters are all likable, and as the show continues, they keep expanding on the
I just had
cast.
to throw a spicy take. Continue.
Okay, you want to know the only reason that Tanakawa could be considered better
Sure.
is that its second
actually
season is
fall in
not
love.
going to be Funimation exclusive.
You mean third season?
Well,
No,
the second season of Kaguya is the joke.
Yes. I was
yes,
saying
the
it's
second
Kaguya's
season of
third
Kaguya
season.
is Funimation exclusive, so I'm expecting that the third season will be as well. But
Fuck! Anyway, continue.
at least it
Speedrun. We gotta keep on track. Keep on track.
Okay.
Keep going.
Horimiya, the third video on their fucking Twitter they put out announced the student council cast. Really cool, very cute. If you like Horimiya, go watch it. I didn't recognize any of the VAs, but I also didn't pay attention particularly hard to the list because I'm really bad at names. Have fun. Horimiya kicks ass, and it's also incredibly cute.
Yes.
And one more thing. If you watched Violet Evergarden on Netflix and you liked it, the movie that premiered in Japan that did very well in Japan but then got sent to the goddamn trash can by Mugen Train will be coming to America eventually. But in Japanese theaters.
Coming to Netflix and Japanese theaters.
Well, no, it'll come to U.S. theaters.
Okay.
And they'll have the same settings. It is getting the Dolby Cinema treatment, so it'll be HDR with Atmos surround sound, and it's gonna be bomb.
Yes.
And if you watched the series on Netflix, the soundtrack and the sound design to that show is absolutely goddamn mint, and I cannot wait to witness it in Atmos
yes.
for the movie.
Okay. So really quick manga news because it's completely irrelevant, but I saw it.
Hit me with it.
Viz Media is going to be publishing the official English version of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5 in summer 2021. Which means not only has the manga been out for years, the
Decades.
anime finished the English dub last week, and the next summer they're releasing the manga for it
Can I
Hey, but you know-
point out one
hey.
last little thing?
because there's not official English. Go for it.
If you cared at all, Attack on Titan season 3 has officially got its little voiceover cast list.
Cast?
And, go check that out.
You
There was something
final
else.
Season
Yeah, the
4.
final
Oh,
season.
and yes, as someone in chat has reminded me, the
Oh,
big cry
that was the
news
big
of
one.
them all.
Yeah, Sony's buying Crunchyroll.
Crunchy. Yes, that is the big
I
cry.
want to be clear. We don't know if it's the big cry yet.
They are in talks, and
I'm
they
go-
also owned 2 other anime streaming sites. So if they do, it is a monopoly on streaming sites.
Well, that's not my problem. My problem is we're getting out of an abusive relationship with AT&T owning Crunchy, but Sony and their streaming services seem to have a more abusive relationship with their
Here's the
consumers.
thing. Here's my counterpoint. Simply because Sony is very Japan based.
Yes.
Crunchy, if they fuck up Crunchy, then they're not going to see the end of it for a while.
That's true.
Oh no.
And that's not even like,
That's true.
oh, Crunchy's only on my PlayStation, not on my Xbox, because honestly, Sony'd be dumb to do that. But if they do something that ends up making everybody's lives miserable that uses Crunchyroll, then you can be sure that there will be very many angry weebs that are angry at Sony.
Yes. And
A
they will
lot of
refuse to
people
buy
in Japan
PlayStations.
specifically as well.
They will refuse to buy PlayStations.
Yeah, no,
that'll
it's
happen.
definitely.
I don't think they'd go that far. They don't actually have self-control. They're just mad on the internet.
I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
no.
They've done crazier things for less
I
in
would write
Japan.
some very angry tweets, and then get over it eventually.
Anyway,
Probably.
let's jump into the fun topic real quick because we've been going for almost 16, 17 minutes on news.
Okay, well, we didn't
Lot
cover
of
news
news.
for 2 weeks. I'm sorry.
true.
News
No.
is normally
We had
a
a
10-minute
lot of
segment.
news. No,
we're
Tim.
still behind. Like, we're still on pace. It's fine.
Okay. Anyway,
We're doing fine.
topic for this week: Pacing.
Speaking of,
Well,
Paul, do you get why I was like, we're gonna go really slow and then really fast? It's a part of the bit.
you can't bit me like that. Anyway, pacing.
Everything I do is now a bit.
Pacing.
What? Tim's now
Jujutsu
living my
Kaisen.
life.
Jujutsu Kaisen. Good pacing.
Yeah.
No,
Something
no, no.
happened.
It's not good pacing. It's absolutely god tier.
Well, so here's the thing.
pacing.
Here's the pacing. So I'm gonna give you 3 examples. We're gonna start with Jujutsu Kaisen as the middle tier. Being the other 2 will be extremes. So Jujutsu Kaisen, something happens every episode.
Yes.
Something that pushes the story every episode.
Yes.
But it's also making sure to take care and take notes of everything that's happening. It's taking its time and it's doing it properly.
I want to point out as well that it's not just like doing all of these things at once, right? Because like we'll see Megami and we'll see like him use his demon dogs. We notice that they come out of the shadow. We notice that there are 2 of them. We notice that like when one of them dies, like
They have
they're
symbols
gone
on their foreheads.
Yeah, they'll be gone, right? So like in the latest 2 episodes, right? Like one of the dogs dies and he's like, I have to go replenish all of my energy to bring them back. Like they're gone for now. Like I've used all of it up. Because as you find out this latest episode, like they're created from his shadow. You know? And that's a whole crazy thing. And like Skuna even goes as far to be like, why the fuck did you run earlier? Like you fucking could have mopped the floor with this fucking special grade if you knew how to use your goddamn power.
That's not what Skuna said.
I mean, it was close.
Skuna was just like, you have a good cursed ability, and if you like didn't suck at your goddamn job, you would have just mopped the floor with him. But
You're
do
both saying the
suck
same
right now.
thing.
Yes. Well, that's my point. So like
He was,
So yeah, so we have Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
Right.
Like, that's
so
like,
the point of that is like even in the pacing of the episodes, you're learning progressive things about his ability, and not just his ability, the way that he thinks about using his ability. So even in your pacing setup, it's not just like things are happening. You're learning progressively more about each character and their identity and their ideology and why they're doing what they're doing. Because even like for example, you like get this whole point of contention between Itadori and Megami, because like Itadori's like, I gotta save this dude, and Megami's like, I had no intention of saving this dude in the first place. He's in this like this detention spot for a reason. Fuck this guy. And Itadori's like, but he didn't die a proper death. And you have this like whole conflict point, and you like progressively learn more and more about that as the episodes go on. And I'm not going to spoil much of this episode. We'll talk about it later. But like the pacing allows for character development to be done not just as a character, but as a character in relation to other characters, so you get multiple areas of character development at once. Bad example. God of High School.
You know exactly where I'm going. God of High School, because
Marriage
the
episode.
things that happen. So someone from an anime only, right? Mm-hmm. There was a lot of episodes that, as you guys have said, and I've talked to you, were arcs, were stories, were things that happened. Like the wedding episode was like 10 chapters and had higher stakes and had things happening. In the anime, it felt like a throwaway write-in episode because somebody said you need to have a wedding in your anime.
They're over here like Kobe trying to hit a trash can with a paper towel ball without looking, and
but the trash can's in the other room and the door's closed and the fan's on. Like,
like
yes,
it's like that's what it is. It felt like
it's that, and then Jujutsu Kaisen is literally like Steph Curry from half court just dropping a dime and then like walking away as it flies through the air.
Yeah, and so like you're getting in Jujutsu Kaisen, you're getting that even pacing, but in God of High School, like that wedding episode, both of you told me is like that was 10 chapters. There was so much more. There was so much going on. There was so many stakes. There was so many reasons, and they brought all the information to you. But the problem being that when I watched it, it felt like a Hot Springs episode where, fun fact, guys, if you didn't know, the distributors will literally tell anime companies, you have a cool show, but where's the Hot Spring episode? And they need to throw in a Hot Spring episode for the sake of it. It's not every show, obviously, but they're like, apparently, like, for example, when Rooster Teeth was bringing Ruby to Japan and they were talking with Warner Brothers Japan said, okay, but where's your Hot Spring episode? We need your Hot Spring episode. and they said we don't have one because that's stupid as shit, and then they went through anyways. But that's like, it felt like something that was thrown in. It didn't feel like there was weight to the wedding episode. It felt so empty. Is like, that's the best word I can use for it. It feels empty. It doesn't feel like there was anything there.
They called it in, and they were going to order their pizza, and somehow ordered like an anchovy sandwich.
They just
all they wanted
like
was a
got
small
it
cheese
wrong.
pizza, and they got an anchovy sandwich.
Other good example, Tower of God.
Tower of God, I feel like, so Tower of God isn't the Jujutsu Kaisen good example, but it's a great example because what they did was they took what they could and fit it into the episodes that they had, and then where they could cut fat, they did, and then they replaced it with other character development moments.
The way that I like to think about it,
the Tower of God anime, there are scenes that are completely different, but they don't feel out of place.
Yes.
Like the biggest example being when Bam went to go do his individual test with the administrator, and basically everyone started fighting. In the webtoon, Rack and Kun play the antagonists, and then everybody else says, "Fuck you, we're gonna do it anyways," and then they go join them. Versus in the anime, they play the antagonists and people call them out for it, and everyone says like, "Yeah, we're all on the same page. Let's go together."
Yeah.
Which it doesn't take away from the character development that was in the webtoon. It actually builds on it, but it's a different scene, and it's something that took less time, and they were able to fit in better.
I was going to make the specific point that like the pacing has everything to do with the relationships between the characters in Tower. Like it's none of the actual experiences mattered as much as the way they presented the relationships, because I think first and foremost Tower's like entire thesis is like the relationships that you build as you go up the tower, because like you're doing your job, but as long as you build the relationships that you need to while you're doing it, like you will succeed, thus repeating the formula.
Like
and even then you have your episode 1 pacing. You introduce Bam, his relationship with Rachel, and his relationship with the tower.
Yes.
So you have the two main characters that you're going to be following, and you have their antagonists, referring to the tower as the antagonist because they're essentially fighting it.
Yeah.
They're fighting the tower.
True.
That's
not obviously like directly true, and there's more to it than that. But for the sake of argument, it sounds that's good. Then in episode 2, you get his relationship with Kun
and Leroro.
Not yet.
Kind of.
It's pretty much just Kun.
No, well, that's in 3.
Oh,
so in
I was
2,
thinking
you get,
3.
You
Yes.
get his relationship with Kun, and you get a Hot's and Shibasu's relationships.
Yes.
So you have this trilogy of characters over here, and you're expanding on your main character, and then you also introduce Rack. So now you have this. Then you introduce Leroro, and then
Rack.
you introduce that other trilogy,
Yep.
and then you start merging these characters. Then you start pulling in the auxiliary characters, and by the time you get to episode 5, you have the full cast.
Yep.
And you know all of their relationships with each other. There's a few odd characters here or there.
And the problem
like
was
Dorothy,
that
but
in God of High School, for the example of bad pacing, right? You had the 3 characters, they meet in the first episode. It's all kind of super speedy. And then all of a sudden you get to this wedding episode and everybody's kind of just like, yeah, you shouldn't get married. Nah, fuck that. That dude's a dick. Oh, wait, you don't want to do that. Oh, look, he's taking your sword. And like nobody actually has any correlation to each other other than the immediacy of the previous episode.
Exactly. It honestly, watching it as an anime, it felt like they were friends due to the situation rather than actually having any relationship with each other.
So this is what I almost want to say about this, is they structured the opening of that anime, because the latter part's better, but the opening of that entire anime was literally just tournament arc, and they didn't give a shit about what was going on except for the tournament.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah,
right?
No, 100%. There was no focus.
Yep.
And I guess honestly, at the end of the day, that's what the pacing is about as well. It's where is the focus of the show? Is are you focusing on building the plot? Are you focusing on building the characters, or are you focusing on just moving forward with what you have on paper? Because a significant amount of animes come out based on a manga or a light novel and now webtoons. So like they have something to go off of, and they can try to just burn through it, or they can try to give it the attention it deserves.
Yep.
And it's really easy to say, that's a super cool point in the story. I want to hit that point in the story. But if you don't take the proper care getting there, then it's irrelevant.
Like,
Because then the
Tim and I
weight doesn't matter.
And then Tim and I talked about this when it was airing very specifically. Is we were like, if you get to the Ilpio Mori fight and you don't set that up correctly, you fuck the entire ending of the series.
And I can totally see, like, we didn't talk to any of the other characters or have any interaction with them until they were fighting, and the interactions ended when the fight ended. Like, and then they were gone, and that was it. That was the last time you saw them. Yeah. And so Ilpio being such a large character, like, you need to throw his background in. So they would have been required to, but if they didn't do it properly,
and to be fair,
you know,
like the webtoon did a lot of it, but it did a lot of it in like in between panels. If like you think back to it, Tim, you know what I mean? Like we had these moments of like in between panels in the middle of or just before the fights. You know, we weren't getting a lot of like in story.
There was a lot of like inner monologuing.
Yes.
That gave a lot of expositionary content that is a lot harder to do when you have a 25-minute, allotment. And realistically speaking, when you hear God of High School and it's a shonen, you're going, I want to see the fucking tournament arc.
Yep.
And
to be fair, Mappa blew themselves out of the fucking water with animation in God of High School.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And
bar none, I think God of High School might be the peak of animation in shows right now.
I'm waiting for Jujutsu Kaisen to finish up the season and then talk about that.
I'm saying as of right now.
Yes.
Jujutsu Kaisen is also Mappa, and they're fucking killing it as well. But my point being, God of High School, as of right now, I think might be the standard. Like that's
just
the gold
just
standard.
as the point of information for you, Jujutsu Kaisen is being directed by Sung-Hoo Park, who is the animation and fight coordinator for, and the script supervisor for God of High School.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, and their animation director is the one for AOT.
That explains a bunch of
4.
those shots from the trailer. I totally yes.
Do you understand how we're getting 3 shows back to back, basically by the same team, that are just going to be absolute fucking banger.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So go back to
animation standpoint.
other forms of pacing.
The pacing can suck on all 3 of them.
Other examples of pacing. Good and bad pacing.
Give a good slow example.
A good slow example?
Yes.
Oh, just let's be classic and go to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I was gonna go to One Piece. One Piece's pacing is.
I haven't watched enough
fantastic.
of One Piece to say that, right? But like, I was gonna go to Full Metal because it's like a Class A standard, because like
Full Metal, I think actually had decent pacing.
Yes,
Full
but it was also slower. Like this is what I'm talking about. Is like you can have the pacing that's slower. You can have the Inuyasha pacing. You can have like the Hunter x Hunter pacing, like just after the Tower of Heaven exams. Like all of that pacing in those sections was much slower than stuff we saw in God of High School, much slower than stuff we saw in Tower and all these other things that we've already talked about. You know, but it was still well done, and you still had the character development, and all the little interactions felt like they mattered.
I think the problem is when we're comparing like the slow, like that really gradual pacing, is a lot of those shows aren't in a seasonal bracket.
I was about to say about that. Yep. I was about to say.
I was just gonna say, like, bringing up One Piece, like any of those shonen shows, the
ReZero season 2.
ReZero season 2's pacing.
So the problem with using and I want to talk about this is something that like I've had enough time to think about. The problem with using ReZero season 2, especially as a marker for pacing, is ReZero season 2 didn't progress. Like in the sense that like there was a lot of lateral development, which allowed it to be incredibly slow paced. But there was almost no forward development, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. But when you're doing a show where there's supposed to be a lot of forward development,
right?
The pacing that ReZero Season 2 held is absolutely unacceptable.
So see,
the reason why I brought that up as particular as an example is because, like, sorry,
Paul. So the point, I enjoyed the pacing of ReZero Season 2, but that actually lends itself that you're making the perfect point of they need to know where to focus. Is it a lateral move or a longitudinal move? And because ReZero Season 2, I liked the pacing of, but you're 100% right. It made 0 steps forward in the grand scheme of themes and was all lateral. Granted, I loved that because the first season of ReZero did the longitudinal moves and it moved forward a lot in 26 episodes. And they built this massive ocean that was as deep as a puddle. And then they just added depth to it in season 2.
What I was going to specifically...
I feel like that combined was really good. But a lot of times the issue is God of High School is focusing on all longitudinal moves, so you're missing that lateral.
So, like, and the point that I'm making is that the horizontal relational pacing is what solidifies good anime. You can be as vertical as you want, right? But if your horizontal doesn't work... like, it doesn't matter. Like, so even your horizontal can even be like little minuscule slow things. It can be little things like they do in Fairy Tail, right? Which is really a vertical show, right? It's all about progressing.
It lives to be vertical, but they have those 3-episode filler arcs where these 3 characters build their relationship significantly.
It's the Gray and Natsu. It's the Laxus versus Natsu.
It's literally an hour of just character development. Meanwhile, Fairy Tail as an anime, if you watch the full arc, it's about 100 hours of jack shit happening. Like, and obviously characters develop and character relationships change, but it's a shonen fight anime where my friends are my power. So,
but again, the problem I'm stating here is those traditional shonens that do not follow a seasonal format get to have as much vertical and as much horizontal as they want because you're gonna keep watching week to week because they never fucking stop.
Exactly. So, but the problem with One Piece, like you brought up, is they sometimes get a little too stagnant.
Exactly. Yes. And if you get too much horizontal,
but not in a fun way.
Yeah, like that. ReZero Season 2 did a very good job of pacing itself so that its horizontal expansion was enjoyable the whole time, regardless of what you were actually watching and how that made you feel. But if you were looking for them to like actually ever get out of Sanctuary in the first 13 episodes, you're going to hate that season. It was not like I wanted to see them at least make the attempt, like one final attempt where like they were maybe he successfully saved the mansion and was on his way back. And like I know what's coming in the light novel. Like I know that like I shouldn't expect that, but part of me was still like, that's all I want to see. Is I just want to see some goddamn forward.
And you know what's funny? I hate to be that guy and cut people slack where it's undeserved, but we do need to remember that ReZero Season 2 is planned 25 episodes.
I know.
Sherry literally just said that in chat as I was saying it.
Can I make another point? Interestingly enough,
go for it. Again, I'm not saying that the pacing for ReZero Season 2 was bad. What I'm saying is...
I'm on the same page. I know you're playing devil's advocate.
I just want to point out that I think another good thing about pacing is that...
all 3 of us agreeing at the same time would not be good content.
I'm just saying, I think the other thing about pacing that makes it good is the fact that pacing that reflects some form of like human experience, as in separating yourself from an outside set of circumstances. Like, for example, right? Like in ReZero, we kind of have an outside eye, right?
Yes.
But if you put ourselves like they do in that show inside Subaru's head and his experiences and like let us live his day to day, the pacing works because we're inside a thing and going, oh, I remember how it feels to have every day feel the same and be absolutely futile. Like, That's a human experience and emotion.
That's 2020 at its finest, motherfucker.
But like the point is like the pacing, because they've set up the world so that horizontal pacing feels relational to not just the characters, but like what's the word relatable to us, right?
Yeah.
God of High School's pacing wasn't relatable to us because we're like, what the fuck? You're just getting married and then like all of these things. You know what I mean? Like Jujutsu Kaisen, we're still getting like day-to-day pacing that feels relational. Like, and now I'm on a new job. Now I'm doing this. Like, oh God, like these. Oh, hey, I just moved
in such a good order of, because so God of High School was we fight harder, magic. Hey guys, we know we made it through the first 7 episodes, so we decided to actually pace ourselves for the last 6. So we didn't really explain the world, but you just live with it for the last 6 and we'll be good.
Yeah.
The pacing at the end of God of High School was fine. It was just,
here's the thing.
wow.
If God of High School could have been a 24 episode season,
Prime.
the pacing in the last 6 episodes, if they just managed that the whole season, it would have been the show to beat this year, in my opinion. Because the animation is
stellar,
top tier by far. Like, I don't expect anything other than JJK and AOT to be better at all, and that's purely because the same team that put one of them together is putting together all 3.
Yes.
Like,
Mappa is straight up killing it this year. Like they've been good, but they just came out of nowhere swinging this year and have beaten everybody back.
I was gonna say the only other studio that I would expect this quality from, like consistently, is Ufotable.
Yeah. Even then, they're here and there and everywhere. And the last time we had a good show was Faye, and that's been a while. And then we got Demon Slayer, which again just knocked out of the park. Just
so and so all this point about, and also this point about pacing is like in relation to the fact that like they also, for the love of God, understand your source material.
Yeah. Well, it's like back to the Tower of God thing. Tower of God had 13 episodes, and they fit everything that was needed in those 13 episodes perfectly.
Yep.
They hit 12 episodes and had the epilogue, and it was the pacing compared to the webtoon. Did they miss a couple things? Yes. Were those things that they missed completely irrelevant regardless? Yes. They missed conversations about like Yuri talking to Evan about Phantominium, and that Phantominium's an irrelevant character. He doesn't matter. Like, he's cool, he's lore, but he doesn't exist in the actual universe as of right now.
You want to know what the coolest thing about Phantominium is?
Please tell me.
Getting to do the same shit that Tumblr girls used to do back in 2010 through 2014 about fucking Sherlock on BBC. Just get excited. Write conspiracies. That's the whole thing. That is all that Phantominium's good for. That's his literal entire goddamn existence.
Exactly.
For the last decade, that's been his job. Is
context.
Just to exist.
All of the information we know about Phantominium in Tower of God is that he is the strongest person to ever climb the tower. Uruk climbed the tower because he was chasing Phantominium. Phantominium walked into the king's court, slaughtered everyone, and left without a word. That's the only information we have about him. We don't know what he looks like, sounds like, or we don't know anything about his personality or character. We just know he was the strongest, he's an irregular, and he came from nowhere. That's like it.
And that he's an Axis. That's it. Literally
we know he's an Axis, you're right. But that's like, we don't know where he came from. We don't know if
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Literally.
We have so much more information about Enryu.
Yeah.
And he's a more relevant character, and he's also one of those like most powerful characters.
It's just, and this is my point in all of the end of this, is shows that know their source material and shows that try and build horizontal, even if it's like bits of horizontal as opposed to the whole horizontal show. Like, because for example, Tony Kawa is literally a horizontal show. There is no such thing as vertical movement in the show.
That's literally a lie.
Shh.
There is vertical movement.
There is, but it's like it's
at one point he almost sees her naked.
Oh
Hot
no.
springs.
No, there is true vertical movement.
But the point is like almost all of it is done to establish the horizontal relationships between characters. And every so often those characters have a vertical movement that establishes more of their horizontal relationship. And we just kind of getting new characters that like also do the same. So it literally is like you're building a Christmas tree. You know?
Well, you're building Legos.
You're
right?
building the base.
You can build up as much as you want, but if you don't build out from the very beginning, then it's going to be wobbly near the top. And the longer you wait until you start building out, the less structure you're going to have. And by the time you get there, you might be able to build out the most beautiful horizontal structure, but if there's nothing supporting it, then it's just going to topple.
Yep.
You know,
there you go.
I have a real life experience that works very well with the analogy that you went for.
Go for it.
My housemates and I play a game known as Tricky Towers. Think of it a lot like Tetris, except it's 4-player competitive. And
I know this game. Yes, I've seen Mr. Fruit play it.
Yes. So just imagine 4 18 to 22-year-olds intoxicated playing this game. And there are 3 modes. There is puzzle, survival, and race. And race is that exact mode where it's like, all right, cool, I get to be a shonen and I just go vertical as fast as possible. Survival, on the other hand, is like, all right, you have to find that middle ground pacing.
I want to point out to the chat really quick. This is Tetris, but they're not static Tetris pieces. There's physics.
Yes.
So if you have like if you have an L piece that's sticking off most of the way, it's gonna flip and fall off, and you'll lose a life, and you have 3 lives per falling piece.
That's crazy.
For survival. So
we should try it, honestly.
It's a very fun game. You guys should play. And then you have puzzle. And now puzzle is my favorite mode as both an engineer and as someone that likes to turn it into a drinking game.
Oh no.
So the way that puzzle works is you're given a starting piece. Think of it as your source material. This is what you have to build off of. This is what you're working with. Whether you like it or not, this is what you were given. Figure it out. And then they give you a random assortment of pieces, one at a time, and you have to stick as many of them on there as possible. And the objective is to do what ReZero Season 2 did. Go wide. Because
you have a cap.
You have a cap. And when you hit that cap, it's over. Yes. How wide can you get in as short a period as possible? So, hey, wow, you have a 13-episode season because you had to split it in half because of a global pandemic? Go wide, bro.
Go wide.
Go wide. Expand. Expand as far as you can.
Well, so here's the thing. Tell me this. If you had a 13-episode season of God of High School, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they ended teasing Chariox.
Yeah.
I would have been okay with that.
I would have been okay with that. As long as the rest of it was horizontally done well. Like, because all of that whole first season is horizontal.
They could have done a 13-episode season horizontal, end at the season, and tease Chariox for season 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it would have been fine.
Because by the time that you end that, you've gotten a couple of people using them, and then you could literally end on like Q's apartment blowing up. Like, or something along those lines where there's an aspect of something's happening.
Yeah, like you could sit there and
they probably would have ended with Mori fighting and just with the dragon fruit, with Mori and the dragon fruit.
Well, no, you could have ended with the scene of like Q's apartment getting blown up and and Changsik.
Because you leave it as, is Q alive? Why the hell did that dragon come out of nowhere, and what's the magic happening? And what's the progression going to be? Where does this go? Because the national tournament has now just turned up to 12.
Yep.
Like, exactly. I think that would have been a great place to end it, and it would have been a great 13 episode season.
I agree.
Yeah. But
I'm excited to see what Jujutsu Kaisen has for us. Guys, we're going to be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen and Tonikawa Over the Moon next. Stay tuned for that real quick. We'll be right back after our quick little ad break for Rare Drop Roleplay.
It's not King's Coast crying in the club.
King's Coast will be soon. Maybe to figure out who's narrating the next King's Coast ad.
Can I narrate it?
No, it's going to be Wayne or somebody.
God damn it.
It's going to be somebody from the team.
I would have absolutely done it for free.
Hold on, I need to write this in my
I'm
book.
pretty sure Wayne will do it for you too.
Well, no, it's part of Wayne's salary. There's a difference.
This episode of Studio Blank is brought to you by King's Coast Coffee. King's Coast. It's coffee.
Nate, do you have to go to the bathroom?
I'm good.
Cool.
This
Take 2
episode of
seconds.
Studio Blank
Lay down
is
real
brought
quick,
to you by King's
'cause
Coast
legs.
Hot Chocolate.
My legs hurt.
Aw,
It's
dude,
Christmas time and hot cocoa is back in season.
No, it's not. Don't say it. There's no cocoa.
I'm not
Listen,
saying anything.
Listen, King's Cocoa is great. I just know that Wayne's like, I like to breathe normal air, not chocolate air. Have you guys seen Over the Moon? So I've watched the first 3 episodes of Tonikawa.
I've been watching it incessantly. I have rewatched every episode twice.
I haven't had time to watch anime recently, so
Dude, it's been my serotonin.
my serotonin was moving
I've been
out of
so
my house.
burnt out of Genshin that I didn't play the last event like at all.
See,
I didn't even look at it. I didn't know what the fuck I was supposed to do.
It was really good.
Was
So,
it fun?
fun fact for last event, every single day, you do a scavenger hunt to find a merchant, and then you turn in a random item, and he gives you 30 Primo Gems and a bunch of random gear. Every day.
I have not seen Over the Moon, the Netflix movie yet. I'm
I have
going to
not,
watch
no.
it. I just, again, like, I'm moving into that, like, my professor for my senior design class today was like, hey, by the way, Tim, I know you're missing 5 assignments. And said this in front of the entire class. He goes, you're not even missing the most. So I'm not here to, like, put you on blast. You're, in fact, about average. I was like, wow, that makes me feel really not as bad. Because I was holy shit. And he goes, I'm accepting all assignments, including the optional one, until the last day of final. You have until the last day of finals to turn everything in. You won't get full credit for everything, but you will not fail the class.
That's cool.
I was like, good enough for me.
I like that he calls you out and was like, I'm not roasting you. You are average. You are where everyone kind of is right now. You're the example I'm using, but there's no malice in this.
Well, the thing is I'm in both of his senior design classes. There's
so you have a
senior design
relationship with
1
him.
and 2.
Yeah.
And he only lets this happen like every 3 semesters. It's just like somebody that's like, if they get both of these done at the same time, they might be able to graduate a semester early. And that was the plan. And then I just didn't get into 2 of the classes that I needed. So that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And so
I'm still mad about it.
Bro, I would have been taking 22 credits. Shut up.
We're mad about it, but we're also not mad about it.
Like, I'm not mad about it because
22 credits in an 11-week semester, I think I'd rather die.
whoo, baby.
I've tried 20 credits. It's not fun.
I did 19 my second semester freshman year.
I've done 18.
A 17-week semester.
I've done
and
18. It's miserable.
No,
got
listen.
3.2.
Freshman, sophomore year, you can stack those credits because they're all easy classes. That shit you can do in your sleep. Junior, senior, you need to fucking think.
You get your ass handed to you by classes.
You need to put yourself in gear or you get left behind.
You're like,
Oh, yeah.
wait.
I said there.
Is 2
That
plus 2
pacing
equal
from the first
4?
series don't work.
Like that's how bad your
Yeah.
brain gets at the end of the semester. You're like, is 2 plus 2 4? Is this the right? Is this the right maths?
By
What
the
time
way,
zone am I in?
I know multiple proofs that can prove that 0 is equal to any number between 0 and 18 quintillion, and that 2 is equal to 1.
It is. I know this.
It's a really cool
I
proof.
also know that I totally just saw Tim venting in medbay because there was no one in medbay, and I was standing at the door, and then Tim walked out. Therefore, Tim vented into medbay.
Hey guys, welcome back to
We
this
just caught
episode
Tim
of
venting.
Studio Blank, where Tim has been venting into medbay.
Yeah, apparently I'm venting in medbay and
I hit
just
the
trying to
button,
survive
so
what is hopefully my last fall semester of college.
Hey,
we're
working on it.
Hoping, praying
working
to
on
the
it.
anime gods that I get to have my tournament arc where I get to win.
Harry,
Guys.
I'll send you some videos.
You know, it's not a tournament arc this season though. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Are you kidding me? It's a giant tournament arc.
It's not a
He's
tournament
just
arc.
competing with himself
No, he's
for how many
competing with the
fingies he can
fingers.
eat. He's eating Skuna fingies.
It's a tournament, but it's him versus Sukuna, and then somebody wins, and they go up, and then it's him versus Sukuna, and then somebody wins, and they go up, and then it's him versus Sukuna, and then somebody wins. It's a tournament arc.
I told you, Paul. It's a competition.
It's who can
to
eat
see
more
how many
fingers.
Fingies. Who can eat the most fingies? And right now, Itadori is winning by 1.
We get so many chicken tenders.
To be fair, actually, Skuna can't eat his own fingers, or he hasn't.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
He hasn't yet.
Skuna was in control when he ate the one with Fushiguro. And
So it's 2-1. It's 2-1, right? Guys.
it's
okay.
2-1.
Wait,
Can we do a
but
weekly
it's in
TV
Itadori's
counter?
body. So does that mean technically it's 3-0?
No,
No.
because the question is Itadori his soul or is he his body? Because Sukuna, when controlling his body, has full control.
Yeah.
And he
I was
even
gonna
adds
say,
his own additions to his body. So I would say that Itadori's body isn't even his own anymore, and it's 50-50, especially considering he has a second set of eyes and another mouth on his cheek.
Or his hand, or his shoulder,
Or his-
or wherever Skuna wants to present himself.
You get the point that I'm saying. Sukuna has a significant amount of control on his body, but not full control unless he's in the driver's seat. It's kind of like
Can we
two
talk
people
about
go
how he's
to a
sitting there
leased
at
car.
one point and he's just like, switch with me already. This isn't
Listen,
fun
Itadori's name
anymore.
is on the lease, but they're both on a road trip, so they gotta swap off every once in a while.
I was gonna say, it's like the time that I drove to Orlando for GCX. I'm only in control for so long before I lose it, and I have to give it to someone else.
Exactly. And then if they eat more tendies than you, then you know what? They technically
Then I have to be
up-
back in the driver's seat to eat all the tendies.
It's the competition.
It's a competition. How many can I drive more hours than you?
I think
Oh,
I
no.
drove more hours than you, Tim.
One way, yes. Round trip, no.
No.
Round trip, it almost equals.
Round trip. I think
anyway.
round trip. I did more than what you did one way.
I think
Not
so,
by a
but it's-
lot.
Not by a lot, no.
It's what you were like what 20 hours down and back up, right? Per
23. One way.
23. Yeah, I was like 36 total. So like, or
Yeah.
closer to 40 with all the stuff. So
Yeah.
it about levels out.
Anyway,
Any hoozles.
Itadori is my favorite.
I honestly,
I love Fushiguro. Don't get me wrong. Megami's
All of
like the dope.
Kaijin is so good.
Megami's like the dope little
great.
brother who you're like, I like you. You're cool. Come be my like best friend forever. But like Itadori is like the older brother who's just like, hey guys, so I got in trouble and I'm gonna be gone for a bit, but I'm gonna go kick some ass, so I'll be back. And then comes back with like 15 trophies and is like, hey guys, oops.
What's the girl's name?
Nobara.
Nobara.
I love her because she's the full I hate everything tsundere, And then whenever there is a light moment, her and Itadori are the same person.
It's
So you can
hilarious.
tell that's what she's really like, and she's just so betrayed by her actual emotions. Because
I
she's
love
like,
her.
she's like, I hate everything. Everything's
Sushi!
bad. You all bad people. And then like her and Itadori are doing like little dances and like, we're going to Tokyo. We're gonna go get lunch. Like they do the little like dances and happy the like the Funimation.
Hold on,
like,
hold on.
shit.
We need to take 2 seconds because that ending is still the best ending of the season. No holds barred.
No,
Which
it's
one?
the best ending of 2020. I'm actually pretty sure it's the best ending of the last 2 years of anime.
Yes,
But the ending-
the
like,
ending
the
of
ending
Jujutsu
song?
Kaisen, where they're like dancing like to the music and
ending
like they're getting
sequence.
ready, and then you have like Gojo Sensei come with the shades on
Dude.
and the full jacket, and it's just like, sup, dudes.
Okay, but to be
No.
fair, Rent
This is
Girlfriend had
literally
4
just in
girls.
a button down.
No, listen. Rent a Girlfriend had 4 girls like doing cheerleading while you had the main character in the middle shaking a soda. Like
I don't know.
Oh, no, I
Jujutsu Kaisen's it's better.
that
sorry.
one was just so funny.
Oh no, Rag's ending sequence was top tier.
It's
But I'm
hilarious.
sorry, when all 4 of them show up and they all got the drip
Vibing.
and they're just bopping along, you can't tell me that that's not just absolutely the.
It's like the
energy
best
that you
choice of
want.
music too, on top of the fact that like they did a really raw animation style for fun, and then they also animated it at half speed so it feels groovy to the music. Like it's just perfect.
I want to point out that while I was catching up with Jujutsu Kaisen, I watched the first episode, then skipped the end credit sequence because I needed to watch the next episode. And Paul stood up and walked over and said, "Why did you skip the ending?"
I
was
did.
like, "Because I need to watch another episode." And he's like, "Fine."
Put it back.
Well, no, because he was like he was speed watching, and I was just like,
I get it.
I understand. And I went and got a drink and was like, it's fine. I'm not happy about it, but it's fine.
When you can cut 3 minutes out of every episode, it makes it a lot easier to binge.
Yes.
True.
So,
Anyway, so I just wanted to point that out real quick because it's so good. But my point is,
great time.
Gojo Sensei is my favorite.
Oh, he's
I
from the second episode. I was sold on him.
Gojo Sensei is the
That fight
Itachi.
scene-
Gojo Sensei is the Itachi of the universe. He's the I know exactly what I have to do.
not-
I know I'm overpowered. I know if I really need to, I could sacrifice myself, but we're not doing that yet because that's not what I need to do because I'm actually overpowered.
So the moment we hit
do
episode
not
2 and we
those
had the panning camera shot,
Tim, is that current right now? Is that what's
not
happening?
Compare Gojo and Itachi because you know what happens when a character gets compared to Itachi?
They die.
End up fucking dead. And if you do that to my man's, I'm going to drive down there and actually put knives in your ribcage.
oh cool. Oh, so I get a new roommate. Compare
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Anyway, but you understand what I'm talking about. It's like he's just like the casual. I'm like I'm badass.
He's the mentor figure. That,
Yes.
Like he's
No,
comparable to Itachi in that. And like,
Itachi
in the moment,
Kakashi.
Ever since
He's
that-
the Kakashi
in
Itachi blend.
the second
Yeah.
episode, you watch him fight Sukuna, and the moment where he is back to back with Sukuna, and he leans his head back and he says, "I'm gonna show off a little bit." I was like, I like him. He's the one.
Can we
He's
also
my-
talk about the fact that he really wasn't showing off? That was like casual.
No, that's the thing. He was so casual about everything. He's just chilling out, and it's the animation and everything was the perfect 360. We're going to keep going, and then it just hits.
Yep.
Like the animation was up at 11, and it slowed down to like a 5, and then it turned right back up.
I'm asking this question from Tim, just because he's read forward and he knows where I'm talking about. That was casual. The showing off starts when he takes the blindfold off.
No.
No? I mean, that's what
If you
happened in the
think-
thing.
If you think he started showing off when the blindfold comes off, you haven't even seen him close to full power yet.
Oh, I know. But like that was him
That's-
showing off to Itadori being like, let me just hold and we're gonna do this
No,
and then
no.
we're good.
No. See, This is what you think Gojo showing off looks like. Gojo showing off looks like this. Putting it back on and going, okay, my domain is down. Now we can play games.
Oh.
That's him showing off. When he goes, I don't even need to be able to see you, and I don't need to have my immediately 100% auto hit on. When I can turn off my auto aim and go, I'm gonna lay back and just let it happen, that's when you know he's actually decided he's flicking the switch to show off.
Pretty good reason.
See,
That's
I hadn't gotten there
this
either.
Satoru Gojo is.
I love him.
That is why he's the best character of the season.
Fun character too, because he's just like, wait, hold this. He's like, wait, what? He's like, I bought souvenirs.
The Kikafuku, yeah.
Yeah, and then
I also would make sure that those don't get knocked over.
I love how at the very end of that too,
he's like, I'm leaving, guys. Don't expect me to get you any souvenirs. Like, he makes a point of, I'm going out and I usually get souvenirs, but fuck you.
Can we talk about the fact that at the end of that episode, when like, it's not even the end of this, but at the end of the fight with like Skuna, like Megumi's sitting back here like, like holding this thing like it's a precious treasure, because he knows that Gojo, if he fucked it up, would turn around and be like, you let what happen to my Kifuki? My Kikafuku? Like, you let what happen? Are you that weak?
You let what happen to my souvenirs?
In the middle!
So it's just like, he's just so casual about it. He's so chill. He's just like, yeah. And then like we see in these last two episodes, right? He's like, yeah, I could kill all of the elders if I felt like it.
That's not a joke.
No, I understand that. And that's why it's like ridiculous. Because he's like, I'm tired of them playing with my students. He's like,
well, also you get like at the end of the day, you get the three demons and the one dude talking, and they're like, yeah, we need to deal with him because he's the strong one.
Okay,
like, if we take care of him, we're good. But
well, I'll explain. Like, I'll give like a very light spoilery version, like idea of where we are in the manga, so that people can understand. In the last 12 chapters, they managed to deal with him purely out of the fact that like he kind of just wasn't prepared for the shenanigans, and also decided, you know what, I can either win and murder everyone in a 2-mile radius, or I can lose and almost no one dies. And like,
so he's like, so let me get this straight. He's pulling the Itadori of like, so I can pull Skuna out and win, or I can lose and nobody but the bad guy dies.
yes.
So he just pulled the big version of the Itadori in the beginning. He's like, and this is the decision. Okay.
Yeah. So
good luck. Have fun, guys.
And oh god, it's really like when you're reading it, you're witnessing it, you're like, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, because it's just bad. None of it's good. Like, there is not a good moment when they talk about like, oh wow, jujutsu sorcerers die with regrets. I'm not gonna spoil who and or what dies, but just remember, guys, this is real life. People die, and it's bad.
I also like.
That's the other reason I like the show.
Like
is they don't cut the corners.
Episode, but the one before it, like Itadori walks in, he's like, "We found a dead body. This is that woman's son. We should bring the body back." And it's like, why? It's like, she was out. She wants to know about her son. Her son's dead. We should bring the body. It's like, okay. But this guy has like 2 DUIs and was on like a work release program right now. He's kind of a piece of shit, and he died, and I don't think we should waste our breath on it.
Well, and not even just that. Like Fushiguro literally goes, "I had no intention of saving him in the first place."
It's like
He was like,
no,
and secondarily,
we're not in the business of rescuing. Like,
I mean,
That's not our job.
so
Our job is
it was
cleanup.
kind of that job, but he also the moment that that was the other part that I'm enjoying about the show is they're showing the visceral immediate reactions to things not going well. Like the moment they step inside with this domain, Fushiguro's literally like fuck, we're dead.
and then like they barely even get to the special grade curse, and he's like, we can't.
Yeah.
We have made a grave mistake.
Standing chance. And then even then
then he doesn't want to forsake Itadori because he's like, no, like you're a good person. This guy is a shit person. Like I'm okay with that. He's like, I'm not okay with you dying, especially since I dragged you into this mess. And
I love that
Itadori's
whole,
like,
they
he's
go,
like, stop.
they go on that excerpt of why did you save Itadori in the first place? Like the first time I met Itadori, he was basically throwing down his life to save another one of his friends. So
Yeah.
like he has to be a
incredibly
good
selfless.
person. Exactly. So
And
because
I
of that
wanted
point,
to be selfish.
it was
was
he's a
selfish.
good
I
person,
saved
and I can tell that, and I don't let good people die.
Yep.
Like, and so that was his point, and you get that insight into his character as well. Of that's his moral is if there's a good person, he doesn't want to let them die, but other than that, he holds no reservations.
Yep. And that is what we call lateral movement.
And that's what this show does. It gives you longitudinal movement and stacks the lateral with it. So you're getting this solid base to build on.
Yep.
Because in 20 episodes, you don't need to introduce new characters, and you can do shitty fight scenes and whatever. But as long as you have that base.
Yep. So I think one final point about Jujutsu Kaisen that I think I want to bring up is I normally don't do gore thriller. I don't.
No, I hate it usually.
I am
personally.
loving this. It's
It doesn't
tasteful.
feel gore thriller.
It's thoughtful. It's not gore and death for the sake of gore and death. You know what I mean? Because that's generally the problem I have with gore and thrilling, like a bunch of thrillers, is they're just like, chainsaw lops somebody's head off and there's blood everywhere. And
Not a
like,
question
will
of
say-
how does it fit in the story? It's how much can our VFX budget do?
yes.
I will say that there is a lot of wanton like gore and just absolute like it feels over the top later in the series,
Yeah.
but it makes sense in context, but it's still like why did we need to be that graphic?
Well, so like, I also think that
Like, for the
I
amount
also
of
think
wanton destruction.
I think
that's going
it's
on.
also going to end up being a little bit less so just because it is an anime. We're going to have the scenes where like Skuna chops off the arm and like you just see the arm here and the dude like gushes some blood in the teeth and stuff. And like the blood's all gushing out and like there's going to be limbs going everywhere when he splits the dude in 6 pieces and it's like, oops, I was only trying to get you in 3. I'm thinking they're going to be more like that than
I mean, Paul, you've read some of the manga.
yes.
How many of those aren't just direct rips?
It's
that
pretty
that
close.
they've already done.
It's pretty close. So
Like
I
would not be surprised if when it comes time for Skuna to just put somebody into 6 pieces, that we're going to witness it live and in 60 frames.
yeah.
It's
Probably
not going to be pleasant.
24, but
It'll
Yes.
be on my 144 hertz monitor. It's still gonna hurt me inside,
So,
regardless of the frame rate.
I'm just really excited. It's going to be good. I expect I'm going to get emotionally attached to Itadori as a character.
That's okay. He's got plot armor. It's fine.
See, the problem is I think they're smart enough to not pull the Superman. Like,
and what?
so
I mean,
so I'll put it this way. When I say
The
that,
joke is that he has plot armor. That's where I was going with that.
What-
He doesn't actually, but
that's the
joke
point.
is-
It's like I'm hoping that the writers are good enough that I don't have the Superman problem of Justice League or Batman v Superman, which is like, oh look, Superman died. Oh wait, Superman didn't actually die to the one thing that can kill him. Thumbs up. You know what I mean? Like Like, and then you never actually have to worry about Superman dying ever again because, like, now the only thing that can kill Superman has already killed him, quote unquote. So, like, we're good now. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem that DC has already. And so, like, in Jujutsu Kaisen, we already have the, oh, look, Itadori died. Oh, wait. He can't really die because Skun is a fucking badass. Thumbs up.
I mean, I will explain to you this. That plot armor does come into play a couple of times throughout the manga.
Of course.
But it usually has a pretty good reason. They managed to make it not, well, oh, because Skuna.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, yeah, no, that makes sense. And, okay, so someone literally revived him there.
Right.
Okay. They missed all of his vital organs. So, realistically, it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah, that's what I've been hoping for.
Oh, you're just missing 2 arms? It's fine.
Yeah.
You have a gaping hole the size of a small cannonball in your chest? It's fine.
Yeah. It's the true play of the cursed spirit power and all that stuff. We've already gotten, we're getting there. We're getting there.
I think the worst part is I have literally just listed off ways that people have actually died.
I have no idea what you're talking about. There's no way that we would spoil that for people who haven't read the manga.
Oh, no. Here's the thing is, the best part is not a single one of those people that I named were named characters.
Oh, there we go.
That's even better. Good job, us.
Well, what's his dick? The dude who was just dead slumped on the wall had no arms, right? Is that what you were on about?
Or no, lower half.
Lower half, sorry.
There's a guy that was bisected. There's a guy that had both of his arms taken off and was bisected. Itadori was the one that in fact had a small. He had
his heart ripped out.
He had a fist-sized hole.
No, that's the size of a cannonball. Cannonball's about that big.
Yeah.
So real quick, okay. So we're gonna start running close on time. So I want to hit Tonikawa. I want to go from blood and gore and curses and death to
blood
the
and
most
gore and curses and death. Got it. Tonikawa is the most hardcore anime that you will watch this season. We have everything. We have waifus. We have bed shopping. We have bathhouse episode.
We have
handholding.
We have
multiple bathhouse episodes.
Wait. I thought this was an anime, not a hentai. Don't get lewd in here. No.
Wait, so I shouldn't mention the kissing that occurred?
Oh my god.
I wasn't going to mention the sleeping together part yet, but that's beside the point.
What the hell's wrong with you guys?
Did I miss something? I didn't know we were watching hentai and talking about it on the podcast.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Anyway,
Tonikawa is the most wholesome anime.
Serotonin.
They literally say my hand
TM.
is all you can hold.
No, serotonin TM.
All you can grab.
That's all you can grab.
All you can grab.
I literally lost it at that line. I'm not kidding.
It was such a good line. It was like, I can hold her hand now. It's all I can grab. It's like, yeah, I'm your wife. It's all you can grab now.
No, so the best part is that she says that, totally inferring the rest, and everybody knows it. And he takes like a full 10 seconds to catch it, and then he's red beat from the ground up and the smoke coming out the ears, and you're just like, yes. That's adorable.
I love that they just keep getting embarrassed by stuff that the other one does, and it's so cute. Like when they're at the bathhouse, he screams out that he loves her, and she's like, that was really embarrassing. But it was only embarrassing. It still made me feel really good.
I didn't say that you didn't have to do it again. I'm just
embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed.
It's like you have no situational awareness. Fucking love it, but still, and you have these interactions where they just they're genuinely trying to care for each other and just figure it out.
I think one of my favorite moments is when she comes home and she has the whole thought process of she's like, I want to impress my husband when he comes home because he's apparently out doing something for me that I have no idea what's going on, but I want to be a good wife. So let me clean. Yeah. And then goes, wait, everything's impeccable. There's no dust.
I'm impressed, but
and then what about smaller stuff? What about hidden stuff? Wait, he wouldn't have hidden manga and lewd magazines. No, he's not like that. But I don't want to get surprised anyway. So I guess we're good. I could cook. Oh wait, like it's literally through this like cutest list of like little housewife shit that she's like all ready to do. Not that like everybody has to be a good little housewife. Please don't take that statement as that is what is necessary or should be. Anyway, that's my preface.
That is just very her choice, and that she loves to do it,
and it's just very cute.
I also love like even when again he's at the bathhouse and he's talking to his kohai and she's like, you don't even know what marriage is. Are you sure you're gonna be able to make this girl happy? He's like, I don't know what it entails. I don't know what I'm required to do. All I know is that I will put in every single effort to make her happy because I love her.
Yep.
And I'm like, God damn it! I just want someone to look at me like that. Like
I want someone to look at me.
Okay, can we talk about two recurring themes that are the best? Number one, the shaking house or the shaking place of residence when something goes wrong. Whether it's the "you've been standing here since when?" and the house is freaking out, and it's like, ever since you were doing the psyching yourself up move from Slam Dunk, which was
or
pure
the like
gold.
Or like, how long have you been standing there ever? Or how long have you been there ever since this happened? Oh God, that's embarrassing. Yeah. Again,
the second
like, all
one.
of the scenes I love her at the bathhouse when she was like in the bathhouse, and then the older sister was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry."
Cell phone. Your skin is like an iPhone.
No, I love that she's like, the older sister is like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I know you thought you were alone in here and I should have made myself aware, but like, I'm sorry." And she's like, "Oh, it's okay. You probably didn't see things." No, I saw everything. It's like, okay, well, it's not like anything happens. Like, no, you even said, "Oh, this is like heaven." Nobody would want to be caught like a cliche. If I were caught like that, I'd kill myself. Like, hardcore. Like
The second thing,
waifu is giving her every single out. Like,
it's perfect.
Oh, you didn't hear everything. Oh, you didn't hear everything. And she is just, she's not even digging a hole. She's fucking contracting a bulldozer at this point. Like, she just
jumping off the cliff.
Going.
Anyway, the second thing,
so much.
second favorite, because that like you can't go wrong with that. It's hilarious every single time. Because like you remember what happens even. Oh, have you seen the episode with the sisters, with the sister and the two housemaids yet?
No.
Okay, that happens again in the next episode. I was
just introduced to the sisters.
Okay. When the housemaid starts taking off her clothes is the funniest scene that whole episode. There's the actual hentai right there. Anyway, but
Shut the fuck up. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's too wholesome.
No. I want you to know that is like the least hentai part of all of the hentai jokes that we made.
Yeah.
Was the one made that. Okay, you know what, Nate? I'm gonna set the scene for you. Okay.
Okay, please.
So, Tsukasa has a stepsister.
Uh-huh.
And stepsister is
bro.
Shut the fuck up. Is, as the anime trope would suggest, in love with Tsukasa, and is younger. They have these two housemates. One is not traditionally pretty, and the other one is the airhead that's a hottie.
Okay.
And if I was better with remembering character names, I would just name them.
Of course,
but
same.
The blue-haired waifu.
What?
The blue-haired waifu and the red-haired maid.
Okay, what I was going to say is one has maroon hair and she's the non-traditionally pretty one, and the other one has like cyan-colored hair, and I was just gonna call her Nate.
Long story short.
What I
Sister goes,
is,
"Hey,
listen,
I'm trying to get
hella dumb. Must be just like me."
Okay, so can I get back to
yeah.
So, Nasa gets kidnapped basically, by the younger sister, brought to
they're hyper rich, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
They're stupid fucking rich. Gets
Running
brought to the mansion, and the younger sister's idea of how to break up the marriage is to take tabloid photos of Nasa-kun and Nate being very lewd together, and then show them to Tsukasa.
Yes.
And so
she mentions this out loud. Let me do this part. This is my favorite. She mentions this out loud. And they're like, we just need to take tabloid pictures. Brings out the camera. And so Nate, the cyan-haired one, goes, oh, okay. And immediately starts stripping. No questions, nothing. Literally, there goes the maid part, there goes the secondary part, and the final dress is starting to come off. It drops to like right here, and then the sister and the traditionally pretty one literally go, no, what are you doing? And like scramble, start putting her clothes back on. She's like, where is your shame? Where is your sense of modesty? Where is your sense of, and like go through this whole list of stuff. And she's like, but he's cute. And I think the best part
doesn't mean you just get naked.
No,
and then he escapes.
The best part about this is after they get her name is Charlotte.
That's
they get Charlotte back into her clothes and
and then her cage because she's not allowed outside anymore.
No, actually,
they
it's
put
even
Charlotte
better.
They get Charlotte back into her clothes, and I think the worst part is then they take this tabloid photo, right?
No, you have to get to the you have to get to how they take the tabloid photo.
Oh, I was getting there.
Okay.
They take this tabloid photo, except what it really is the absolute greatest Photoshop masterpiece of my entire life. I have
ridiculous.
Never seen something so fucking amazing. If my Photoshop skills were this good, I would have graduated college already my freshman year with a master's degree in chemical engineering because no one would have noticed the difference.
Anyway,
I could have gotten a community college degree.
Yeah. Anyway,
and
long story short,
into a master's in chemical engineering from Harvard, and no one would know the difference between the two pieces of paper.
Anyway, Tsukasa comes in, takes the picture out of Nasa-kun's hand because he was like, what have you done? And she goes, And that's all I'm going to leave you with because the rest is gold. But anyway, it's just perfect. Like, that's the next section that the shaking mansion happens because then they escape. Anyway, the other thing is whenever somebody finds out they're married, and you have the 3-word version of married in Japanese with the ever-progressing closer camera angle for anybody. And like, it's just perfect. It's literally the show. That's
Paul
all you
did
ever need.
literally scream it in time as the younger sister screamed it as it zoomed in on her while I was watching. It was very funny.
So anyway, the show is super wholesome. Everything from shopping for new beds to getting new hair like stuff to getting lotion to getting.
I loved when they were getting all the lotion. He's like, what does this do? What does this do? What does this do?
To him fixing the thing that I'm not going to spoil for Nate. Like all of it.
I'll get there.
Super wholesome.
Quality moment.
It is literally my serotonin of the week every single week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really need to say too much else.
No, not really. Honestly.
Nate.
Yes.
It's time.
It's time. Well, don't worry. I have a new one for you guys this week.
Oh boy.
And I think that you'll enjoy this. All right.
I swear to God, if this is another one that I've seen and or read, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind.
Honestly, it might be knowing you and knowing the plot of this, but if not, I feel like it's something you would like.
Okay, so I should go find it on Bookwalk after.
I can't believe it's not I can't believe it's a light novel. There we go. Zagan is feared by the masses as an evil sorcerer, both socially awkward and foul-mouthed. He spends his days studying sorcery while beating down any trespassers in his domain. One day, he's invited to a dark auction, where he finds that there is an elven slave girl of peerless beauty, Neffy. Having fallen in love at first sight, Zagan uses up his entire fortune to purchase her. But being a poor conversationalist, he has no idea how to properly interact with her. Thus, the awkward combination of a sorcerer who has no idea how to convey his love and his slave who yearns for her master but has no idea how to appeal to him begins. In an Archdemon's Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride.
Yep, I've started it. It's actually really good.
It feels like a you book, Tim.
Honestly, I think you'd get a kick out of it. It's really funny.
Would. No, honestly, anything on my light novel list, I'd probably get a kick out of.
Yep. Nate,
Yes?
Tim, hit me with the hit me with the deets. Thank you.
Hey, Tim. Say, if I were a lowly internet goer and was searching for you, where could I find you?
You could find me.
That was such a horrible transition. Hold. That was a horrible transition.
Are you talking? That was great.
No, it wasn't.
That was actually really good.
No.
I felt very fluid. I didn't want to die the whole time.
No, the lowly internet user was fine. I was talking about the transition from the book to the we're ending the episode and getting each other's socials. Come on now.
Oh, sorry. I was going to Bookwalker, which for the Patreon, the patrons that are watching this be recorded live, you can see it in my sunglasses.
Yes.
You can, yes. I see Bookwalker.
We should, just so everybody knows, we're going to create our Bookwalker list on the Patreon at the $5 tier. And if you want to know the light novel titles at the end of every single episode, we're going to put up the Bookwalker links just for you. So.
And I have a list of every single light novel that we have listed.
So we're going to get you guys the links for all those. So if you want to read any of them, you can.
On that note, in the order that they showed up per episode, simply because I haven't organized it that way, but
if you guys are looking for something other than books on the internet, like places to hang out with your favorite Studio Blank boys, or places to watch some streams and some other forms of content, Tim, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitch and Twitter, and occasionally, this one's really spicy, also still on Twitter. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Syndaxatrix, SYNDAXATRIX. And also, when I'm not as busy trying to pass my classes so that I can move out of the ever wonderful frat house that I live in and move to Tampa with the rest of these beautiful boys, running the Studio Blank Twitter at Studio Blank Pod. And you can find me in Discord, in the Studio Blank Discord, being a meme lord and talking about weeb shit.
Yes. All the time.
Paul, where do they find you?
Guys, you can find me all over the internet at I_love_Mondays, MUNDAYS, or on all your Rare Drops socials at twitch.tv/raredrop or twitter.com/raredropco. Doing all the things. You can catch me on the Rare Drop channel live every Tuesday and Friday. Tuesdays for Rare Drop Roleplay Reckoning Hour, and then Fridays with the Studio Blank Boys as we do anime watch party nights. This week, we're actually coming up with something fun. We haven't quite decided yet. We're probably going to watch through Vinland Saga. So come hang out 7 p.m. ET at twitch.tv/raredrop. Nate,
it'll be a great time.
Where can they find you?
You're looking for me on the internet, you can find me at twitch.tv, fb.gg, and twitter.com/Confamous. Spelled the same way in every location. Boom. Easy. You can also find me on Instagram at Confamous, because maybe I'll start updating that regularly.
You probably should.
But
same.
I really should. I did have some excellent stories this past week, though.
I'll start posting more on there myself. Anyway, with all that said,
on my Instagram specifically,
we're going to have to cut this down because we're almost at a 2-hour episode. I love you guys. Have a great night. Mwah. Bye.
Bye, guys. And cutting.
Cherry, Bees, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys come for the episode announcement on Wednesdays, as always. And then on Friday, we'll be watching some Vinland Saga. So catch up with us there at 7 p.m. ET if you want to hang out. Have a good one, guys. Appreciate y'all.